Hello, everyone. Charles here. Welcome. Um, since it takes quite a bit of time for me to write down my thoughts on the PowerPoint and then read off of that, I thought this time I would just do a video off the cuff, and I want to bring to your attention a book I wrote a while back, Deadbeat Dad. Get it in there. There we go. The reason I'm bringing this book to your attention is because you may know a friend of yours, a brother, a son, who's thinking about getting married. And I have nothing against getting married. No problem, but it's risky, boys. It's risky. And what I show you in this book, on the cover here it says, an unbelievable but true story. What can happen to you in the American family legal system is unbelievable. And but this is true. What I wrote in this book is true. And anybody thinking about getting married, or they're already married and there might be a divorce in their future, they're going to want to read this book. You want to go into a marriage with your eyes wide open. The system got me because I went into the system closed. I had no idea what was going to happen. I mean, I heard the horror stories, but but be honest with you, I think you'd have a hard time getting a worse outcome than what happened here. It's in this book, and the attorney of record for my ex-wife, he said, and it's right here on the back of the book, with all that has happened to you, you should write a book. So I took his advice. The system pushed me so hard that in 1999 I had to leave the country, or I was going to commit a crime. And that's what they want. The system wants you to commit a crime because, see, they paint you as a bad person, even though you're not. They want to justify what they do by they feel that if they can show that you're the bad guy, then what they do to you in the system, when they abuse the system and they ignore the law. Heck, they don't just ignore the law, they overrule the law. They do whatever they want to do. So as a white male, if you go into the courtroom, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. And especially if you don't have an attorney. If you don't have an attorney, the club, those in the legal system, and it's a club, and you're not in it, they're going to walk all over you. And it's happened to me on more than one occasion. I have another book in me, and it'll be I'm working on it. But a man who's getting married today in the United States and Canada, he needs to go into the marriage, the relationship, completely aware of what could happen, completely aware of the power that the woman he's going to marry has, should she decide she doesn't want to be married to you. And she's going to be bombarded from Hollywood and Talmud vision and society that she doesn't need or shouldn't stay married to you. it's the pasture is greener over there. See, that's what all the Hollywood movies and all the programs on TV, that's what they encourage. So it took me several hundred hours to write down everything in that book, and I had to cut out a lot of it, and it was so emotionally draining on me that several times, I don't know how many times, I had to push myself away from the table, away from my computer, and walk away. And I was living in Thailand at the time. I just have to go for a walk because I couldn't handle it. It was so emotionally draining. It took my energy. So I try to put as much of the feeling as I possibly could into the words, into telling you what can happen to you in the American family legal system. And it's the same pretty much anywhere you go, Australia, New Zealand, Canada. It's all the same, folks. White males are being attacked. They want to break up the white male head of household families, take away his income. I had a bankruptcy judge. My attorney advised me. I had an attorney for my divorce, and my attorney kept saying, you need to file for bankruptcy. You need to file for I didn't want to do that because that, to me, filing for bankruptcy was admitting that I failed in business. I didn't fail in business. My business was perfectly capable of handling any of the monies that I owed. I hardly owed anybody any money, but they came after me. I finally went and filed for divorce. And here's what he said. The Honorable Judge Alan J. Jaroslavsky, and that name is important for those of you with ears to hear and eyes to see. He says, I have never, in the 12 years I've been on the bench, given a man back his business over the objection of his ex-wife. So he was already against me just because my ex-wife said she didn't want me to have the business that I worked hard for over 20 years, working and providing for my family and her. But this judge, he's going to take everything away from me that I work for. And he and those judges will do that to you. You need to be prepared for that. The other judge in the divorce, this is what he said. I was in there on another matter, and it's in the book. You're the best pro se litigant I've had in my courtroom in the 27 years I've been on the bench. So it took a lot of work and a lot of energy and a lot of learning to get to that point. I've always been interested in the law. So he gave me a compliment as a non-attorney in his courtroom, I thought. But I was wrong. Not more than 2 minutes later, he got up out of his chair because I asked him a question. I said, what's your reason for what you just did? He comes up out of his chair, spittle coming out of his mouth. I don't give reasons. I give rulings. Now sit down and shut up. If I hear another word out of you, I'll hold you in contempt of court. So what do you do when the black-robed tyrant yells at you? You say, I got you, buddy. I got you. You're upset. I got you upset because you're breaking the law, and I know you are. I nailed you. But what do? You sit down and shut up, okay? And that's happening, people, all over the United States, all the way to the Supreme Courts in the states. And that's on a whole nother video, and it's coming up soon. Anyway, I just wanted to get, if you know anybody that's getting married, or you know somebody who might be going to be going through a divorce, you want to, oh, and by the way, this book was removed. This book was taken off of lulu.com. I had it printed on lulu.com. And on the back here, the names have not been changed to protect the guilty. one of the people in the book complained because there were some private things brought up in the book. So Lulu, without me getting to defend myself or say no, that's not true, they just took my book off. So it's available on Amazon.com still. I don't know how much longer, buddy, folks. I don't know how much longer it'll be available on Amazon.com, but they are beginning to ban books, and this might be a book that gets banned. You might want to get your hands on it and give it into the hands of someone who you think can use it. Anyway, I want to thank you for, people, don't give up, okay? We're actually winning in a lot of ways. We're winning. These people are getting desperate. And this is all gonna work out in the end, folks. You don't need to get discouraged. It's nothing happens in our life that God doesn't either allow or cause. So I look at this like, okay, he's my Father, my God has allowed this to happen in my life. And I was reading in James this morning, count it all joy when you run into various trials, because the working of your faith, the testing of your faith, worketh patience. You endure. It's like when you run a long distance, and the longer you run, the harder it is, steeper up the hill. You get the ability, you get the endurance to go further and faster. So all this stuff that's happening to me and to you people, it just makes us stronger. So I want to encourage you all. If you're having a tough time in a divorce, send me a message and we'll chat. Thank you so much for listening. If you do, like and share and subscribe. Later.